Hello everyone, this is Richard Hay from the Super Site for Windows. I'm here with you today to give you a demo of the new recently released OneDrive Files On Demand feature for Windows 10 Fall Creators Update. Currently, if you are on an Insider Fast-Ring build 16215, which is the latest build that was released last week, you will now be able to download a new OneDrive client and implement OneDrive Files On Demand on your system running that fast-ring build. So I'm going to show you how to go through that installation process, and then I'm going to show you some of the features of OneDrive Files On Demand. Now, I'm currently recording this from a virtual machine on one of my Windows 10 desktops, so the screen is a little bit smaller than normal. It's not a full size, but you should still be able to see all of the features that this brings to bear after a very long period of not having this functionality. So let me start off. First off, the blog post that Microsoft published has got a link to download the OneDrive Setup Client. And this will allow you to immediately move to OneDrive Files On Demand. If you don't want to do that, over the next few days, they said they will be releasing the build and pushing it out through normal update channels. But I've already got the file downloaded, so I'm going to double click on this file, and it will start an installation process just like any other OneDrive client setup and go through that process. It's very straightforward, so we're going to let this run. And what will happen is this is going to, on build 16215, this new client will give you the option to turn on OneDrive Files On Demand. You can, of course, there's an option to turn it off, and I'll show you that in the settings, so you don't have to use OneDrive Files On Demand. If you like the selective sync options that come with OneDrive currently, you can continue to do that, and I'll show you exactly where you turn that on and off. But the benefits of OneDrive File On Demand is that it gives you the ability to have files on your device that you know they're there, you can see them, and you can download them on demand, thus the name OneDrive Files On Demand, but normally not take up hard drive space for them. And this is terrific for small form factor devices with small sizes like 32 gigabyte tablets. But a lot of people just like this because they have some folders that are full of files and just get in the way of not being able to see anything when you can't sync 100% of what those files are. So if you think back to the OneDrive days back in the Windows 8, you were able to see everything in your OneDrive cloud storage. There was a file there. If there was a file in the cloud, there was a file on the hard drive. It didn't take up much space, and in fact OneDrive Files On Demand continues that. So files that are in the cloud don't take up any space on your device, but you can see them. Locally stored files, or locally available files, Microsoft calls them, will be available to you. Say you downloaded it through an app, or the system will try to figure out what you use a lot of, and it will download some of those for you automatically. Those have a certain marking, and then you can designate which files you always want to have access to. And you need to do that last step to have it on your local device as always available, so that if you're offline, it will still be available to you. Okay, so I just finished installing the client, and you may have seen down here, there it goes. This is the pop-up that will come up on your screen when it's ready to turn on Files On Demand. So it's right there. Flip the switch, turn it on, and now OneDrive Files On Demand, you've just seen the cloud client has restarted. Now Files On Demand is enabled and it's ready to go. Now if I clicked on this, it would take me to the OneDrive support page, and I'm not going to go there right now. I want to show you what this looks like on your device. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to open up my File Explorer here, and I'm going to click on OneDrive. And as you can tell, I'm starting to see some of the check marks that are different from the old version. They're really bright green ones but I'm going to change the view because I want to turn on the status column. The status column right here really shows you the status of your files. Now, all of these files are showing as locally available files, so that means they're available on my device. They're not permanently available on my device. I need to right click on them, so I'm going to select a couple of files here, and I'm going to right click on them, and now you see I've got a couple of other options here. Always keep on this device will convert that file to a always available file on this device. So I'm going to do that. You see they just turned to the dark green with the white check mark. That means that file is now on this device. If I want to only have them available in the cloud, let's select these three screenshots up here. I'll right click on it and I'll say free up space. And what will happen is it will convert those to cloud based files. So let me see, I'm not sure why that first one didn't do that. It did one of them, so maybe I have to select them one at a time for that. Free up space. For whatever reason, this file is not taken on that command. Let's try one of these other ones. free up space. All right, there we go. So now you can see the cloud. So the cloud would indicate that this is only available online. So right now this file's not taking up any space on the hard drive. So if I right click on it and I look at the size on disk, 0 bytes. I mean, it's taking up a very, very small amount of space. Right here you see 176 kilobits. That's just for the kind of file marker. So if I right click on this one and I look at properties, file size on disk, taking up 180 kilobytes. So you have the option to designate any of your folders for on-demand or selective sync. So I'm going to go back down to the OneDrive client, and you can see where it's been working, right? You can see the kind of downloads that I just started it doing. Well, I'm going to click on the settings, and right here I'm going to go to choose folders, and now you'll see it says make all files available on demand in OneDrive, and then all the folders are checked off. If I uncheck this box, it now becomes just like the older way. It becomes only the folders I have checked do I want you to make present, and they will all be present. There won't be any online only, there won't be any locally available files, there won't be any always available files. It will just be they either are or they aren't, but you don't get to see your whole file structure. That's the beauty of OneDrive Files On Demand, is that you see your entire cloud structure and file layout, so you see the entire directory and the subdirectories and the files within those directories, whether they're local, whether they're cloud only, or whether they're always on your device. So this is a great upgrade. This is the first opportunity that insiders have had to test this new feature. It's in high demand. It's been one of the biggest requests when it comes to Windows 10 on user voice for OneDrive. I'm sorry. And it is a feature that I think is really going to come in handy on all kinds of devices and for people who have all kinds of files in their cloud storage. I have about 30 gigabytes in my main cloud storage, but I don't sync my music to every directory, to every device I have. But you know what? It'd be nice to kind of see what's there, so I could right click and choose to download one and have the space for that. So this gives you that kind of flexibility. Expect to see more about this as we progress forward. Right now, you might remember a few weeks ago there was a demo of these features and stuff like that. However, you'll see that on the consumer side, you still have the same options here. So if you do share a OneDrive link, it's going to pop up in your notifications and tell you that that link is ready to share. Or if you choose more OneDrive sharing options, it's going to open the OneDrive website and give you the ability to customize that link, to have an expiration date on that link, and other things like that. So right now the consumer version of this does not have the same kind of sharing features that you will see on OneDrive for Business. And by the way, for those of you on OneDrive for Business, this new client is going to implement OneDrive Files On Demand for you as well. So check it out, give us some feedback, let us know what you like about it. And until next time, stay safe out there on the net and keep your files in sync on your local device if you're going offline, because otherwise they're just not available. Take care, everybody.